this is the patch bay. The first thing we do before we patch anything in is turn it on. Down here there are 6 buttons. You press 1 through to 5 to turn it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To turn it off, you do the same thing. So here is where the projector's patched in. Obviously there's the projection box. The VGA cable runs from the projector, which is down there, up to here. It then goes into 30, which is where we patch it into on the patch bay. There's also a VGA cable which runs straight across, just in case the projection box isn't working from any time, so we can still use the projector just straight from the VGA from the projector. So if you store upstairs on the catwalks, the projector is patched into 30. So when you're repatching it around the theatre, you go from 30, because that's where the signal is going. So if you're going to patch it up here, if you're having your projector up here, data output up here is 18, or 17, 18 or 19. 19 is taped over and 17 is taken, so we use 18. So this will make the signal go from up here to the projector. If we're going to patch it down on stage, the patch it will down there is 6. One that we usually use, so we patch it into 6 like that. This is only when you're using the projection boxes, the data only goes to the projection. If you're using the VGA cable straight from the projector, it just goes straight. So obviously, as I said before, there's 2 ways of connecting the projector to the Mac, which you're running your visual imagery off. The first way is just by the VGA cable, which you'd use this to convert the VGA cable to the Mac display port. Another way is the projection box, which is a little bit more complicated. However, it does make it easier, as there's no big cables hanging around. You're just going straight from a data patch bay. So first thing you do obviously is need power for this, so it goes into your 5V DC and straight into general power. And then you need to get the signal from the projector to the patch box. So obviously you go through the patch bay, as we just did, from 13 to whichever data bay you're in from. In here, again, as I said earlier, it would be 17, 18 or 19. So you plug it in, and obviously goes into the data bay. You then take your VGA cable and plug it into your VGA and audio in. So you just simply push it in and screw it into place so it doesn't get knocked out. You obviously make sure that the power is flashing, and this will be flashing at the back when you've got a signal. The other end, you've obviously got all these different adapters, so USB, jack, mini jack, and we obviously use VGA to go with the converter. So you simply plug in your VGA cable, which runs from the projection box, as so. And this end will go into the display port in the Mac. You then just alter the settings on the projector and the Mac. Once you've set the projector up with whatever system you're using, whether you're just going straight to the VGA or whether you're going to use the projection box, it's now time to actually project. So you open up QLab. This is the software that we use to project and to set up our cues. So once you've got it open, this is your workspace. You can drag whatever target or media you want onto here, such as images or videos. We'll use a video to start off with, so we'll use the slow motion cards first. So we do simply drag from your desktop or from your folder straight into QLab. So here it is now. You're into display and geometry, and this is where your surfaces are. So your projector would be surface 2. Once you've set it up, for now we'll choose surface 1. So this is basically just it. So when you click play, the video will just play. And escape to stop. You can add effects onto this, which are all up here. And all these up here. These can do different things. This one is a fade, so if you just pop it in here, and this will be your target. As you can see, there's an error occurred. So as you go into geometry, if you want it to fade in, you'd set here the opacity is 100, but here you'd set the opacity to 0, so then it would fade in. So as you see, you click play, nothing happens, but when you click space again, the fade occurs. You can also fade it out simply by changing these over, so it starts at 100 and finishes at 0. So when you click space to play, you click space again to fade out. An important thing to remember is if you do not want the video to come back in, is that you click down here, stop target when done, which means it will fade it completely out and then stop playing, because if you just let it keep playing, it will keep going all the way through a show. So that is how you do a fade. You can still do this, you can also do this on music and images and anything else. can also add in stops and pauses. So if you wanted to add in a stop, we'd get rid of the fade for me. Just simply dragging this. When it's playing, you click space and it automatically stops. You can also add a pause in underneath and then a play again. Add both of these. So you can play, pause it and then play again. These are simple effects you can use. So another thing you can do with QLab is multi-project. So you set it up the same way by dragging in your media, but when you go to put display in geometry, that's where it changes. So you go to your settings, video, and here are your surfaces. So obviously you can need multiple surfaces to multi-project. So you simply click add new surface, and every new surface will display, and then here will be your projector. But for now we'll do on the Mac. So here is your display, obviously. You can see this is the screen. So when you've got your screens, this will be projected onto the site or whatever you have hanging up. So say if you have two different frames hanging up and you want to project inside of them, you simply reshape the grid to the canvas or frame or whatever you're projecting upon, as so. We're going with a scenario that we have two different screens up at the moment to project onto. Oh, that's not good. So once you're done resizing, reshaping, whatever, let's drag that down to here so we've got enough. You can rename the surface, so this would be stage left. So you could name it stage left. You can have as many different screens as you want. Once this is done, you simply close it, and it's changed here. You have another one on the other side, and you display iMac. Again, we're going with the situation that we have two different screens. So once this is resized, so then you've got your two different surfaces which are in stage left and right. So then you click done, you go back to your workspace. So now you've got one target in here, one media, but you're going to need two for each screen. So if you set the first one, video surface stage left, video surface stage right, and if you want these both to play at the same time, you obviously put in the arrow which plays both the cues at the same time, and then you click play. Both medias will be playing at the same time on different screens. Once they're playing on screens, that's when you can see the resolution, and you can change it here, like custom geometry, and then by changing the settings you change the size of it on the screens.